Ebusuya for ni for ni die kwan so me patcho me ma obi bia akwaba me sam obi bia fisha pa ebusuya me patcho from the office of the president elect John Dramani Mahama me patcho wa nominate the current speaker of parliament Alban Bagbin say ono ana obeye the speaker of parliament for the 9th parliament yenim say current parliament ni the 8th parliament into the 9th parliament no ana eba no na from the office of the president elect John Dramani Mahama or say Alban Bagbin on do bit me na ye adwuma nti wakache NDC fo nyina say omonto omun nominate no omonto abama Alban Bagbin na ombeye the speaker of parliament for the 9th parliament. We good news. Ye nyina yenim Alban Bagbin niema waye so far na nkenya ono anka niema bi a so far nka NPP for person mo ye so far nkenya ono pa de nka NPP for will have their way through pa in many ways. Nanso papa no wagina chese wagina pintin oso boa wo kame kra me nko wo kame kra ye beka ya na o kaso no kro ye number 2 aha na ya grow we fine ono a me pacho sisi ano officially the president elect John Dramani Mahama nominated Alban Bagbin say ono ana opese oye the speaker of parliament for the 9th parliament ono no betimi na ye adwuma yakopon hia no nyo kese yenkoni kotie insem no nchiremu credit to TV3 Ghana yakopon hia o pacho me do bibiase.
Speaker of the 9th Parliament, suggestions and names being chipped in left and right. Well, there's some news coming in from the quarters of the president-elect as to who he will prefer to be nominated as Speaker for the 9th Parliament. The office of John Mahama has issued a release to the newly elected members of Parliament asking or mandating them rather that they nominate the Right Honourable Alban Bagbin as Speaker for the 9th Parliament. I want to take you through details of that statement right now, and it reads that the President-elect, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, has in consultation with the National Executive and Parliamentary leadership of the NDC mandated the nomination of the Right Honourable Alban Bagbin as Speaker of the 9th Parliament of the 4th Republic of Ghana. The Right Honourable Bagbin has distinguished himself in the service of Parliament, rising from Member of Parliament for Nadolu to Minority and Majority Leader respectively, and subsequently as Speaker of the 8th Parliament. He goes on to say that he brings a wealth of experience to the position, which will prove vital in steering the affairs of Parliament at this critical period in Ghana's democratic and legislative development. The President-elect is convinced that under the stewardship of the Right Honourable Alban Bagbin, Ghana's Parliament will be further strengthened to deliver effectively on its oversight responsibility. And that's the latest from the office of the President-elect, who says that Alban Bagbin best fits the position of Speaker for the 9th Parliament. There's been a lot of conversation. In fact, when the President, outgoing President, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, delivered a State of the Nation address, there was a question I posed to a number of MPs, and across the opinions which were shared, many made the argument that he had distinguished himself and they will be backing him to serve as the Speaker of Parliament come the 9th Parliament. Now, it almost is coming off as official, this letter from the office of John Mahama, who is the President-elect, asking the MPs-elect to nominate Alban Bagbin to become the Speaker of the 9th Parliament. He's a man in your shorts, been stirring the affairs of the 8th Parliament, the hung Parliament and all of its difficulties and all of the fights and infightings with respect to legislation, laws being passed, taxes being brought onto bear in terms of e-levy, amongst many other things. He's the man who sat in that chair, stirred the affairs, and most recently, in the lead up to the dying days of the 8th Parliament, his verdict with respect to the declaration of some seats as vacant and it traveling to the Supreme Court, him disagreeing with the court and stating emphatically his position, adjourning the House, amongst many other things. All of that and more has become one of the many reasons why people from different spectrum. In fact, we've spoken to Dr. Rashid Draman, who's also made the argument that, look, he's distinguished himself and he will be backing him to be Speaker of the 9th Parliament. We've had MPs say it as well. And now we're seeing the office of the President-elect, John Mahama, as well, speak to the fact that they will be wanting Alban Bagbin to be nominated. And if the NPP is so minded to nominate somebody as well, then it will be put to a vote. But if it's not put to a vote, then he will be elected as Speaker. We're going to try and run you through the processes with respect to the selection of Speaker. But let's go on the phone right now. Anthony Obeng is joining us. He's with the Parliamentary Network, Sami Obeng rather, Parliamentary Network Africa has joined us right now via the phone lines. Quick reactions with regards to what it is that we're bringing to you. Don't worry, we'll take you to the Electoral Commission's offices shortly when we get word with respect to the final details with regards Ablekuma North. But let's speak to Sami Obeng right now. Mr. Obeng, I appreciate that you could speak to us. First time I'm speaking to you, so I believe a Happy New Year is in order. We're hearing, or we've just been reading, that the President-elect John Mahama is asking the NDC MPs-elect to nominate Alban Bagbin to be Speaker of the 9th Parliament. Does it come to you as a surprise based off on the work he's done and the commendations he's received over the last few weeks with respect to him overseeing the 8th Parliament? Comes to a vote and elect Alban Bagbin as the Speaker for the 9th Parliament. Elect to nominate, and if it comes to a vote and elect Alban Bagbin as a Speaker for the 9th Parliament. Sami Obeng has joined us on the phone lines again. Let's try one more time, see if we can reach him. Mr. Obeng, I appreciate that you could speak to us. Happy New Year to you. Are you surprised this letter that's coming from the office of John Mahama mandating the NDC MPs to nominate Alban Bagbin as the Speaker of the 9th Parliament?
Happy New Year to you and to your viewers. No, I'm not surprised. I think that it is the most appropriate decision. The Parliament of Ghana in the 9th Parliament will be better for it, under the leadership of Speaker Bagbin, seeing from how he has steered a very difficult 8th Parliament, and looking also at how uniquely placed the 9th Parliament is and what it can produce if it is made to work and work most effectively. So this does not come to us as a surprise. I think that as Parliamentary Network Africa, it was one of the calls that we thought will be useful, and we are happy that we clamored for it, and we're happy to hear that it is so. I think the Parliament of Ghana will be so better for it.
Now, happy for him and the fact that the clamor has brought him into that office. With respect to the work ahead, there's always been that concern about the numbers and the disparity in the numbers almost going to make this 9th Parliament a rubber stamp one. How important is the leadership of Mr. Bagbin in ensuring that this 9th Parliament does not become one of a rubber stamp?
In this 9th Parliament, if there are specific qualities of a Speaker of Parliament that is needed, it is one which is able to stand up to the executive, irrespective of being within the same political party with them. And I have no doubt in my mind, at least from the long history and the long serving period of Speaker Bagbin, that he has what it takes to be able to look Mr. President in his face and disagree with the executive where the legislature thinks that an issue or two is not really being dealt with the way it needs to be dealt with. Speaker Bagbin has proven over the years that he's able to do this, and I think that all of us as people of Ghana must also put Speaker Bagbin and the Ninth Parliament's feet to the fire to ensure that they do exactly that. Because as we have all said over the last week after the election, the Ninth Parliament can either be one that can be useful using the numbers that it's got, or can be one that can be really work at to the disadvantage of the people of Ghana if the government of the day decides to, make it so. And we certainly need a speaker who can stand up to the executive branch. We need a parliament who can be empowered to assert themselves as a co-equal branch of government and to be able to speak truth to power and to be able to stamp their authority on issues and areas where they disagree. And I think Speaker Bagbin is positively placed to do that. All we look forward to is that he would really do exactly what we think he is positively placed to do.
We've been seeking to help us understand that important role he will be playing with respect to the Ninth Parliament. But there's a question I want to ask, whether or not there was any other individual really who could have taken charge with respect to the Ninth Parliament and be able to carry out the desire, because there were a lot of names and suggestions which came up.
Well, with Speaker Bagbin already named, I think that the speculation on who could have or who would have, dies out. And for me, I think the focus at the moment should be on who it is and how we can be able to ensure that who it is now does the work that the people of Ghana expect them to do.
With the dust almost settling on the speakership position comes the first and second deputy speakership position. What we do not know, for instance, if the NPP on their side will be seeking to nominate anybody to the position of speaker as well. But suffice to say, or if we're to make any inference that they do not nominate anybody as well for the speakership position, how do you expect the first and second deputy speakership positions to be dealt with?
By parliamentary traditions and the history of how our parliaments have operated, with this overwhelming majority, it would be unwise to have the minority nominate anyone for speakership. And I do not expect that will happen, which means that Speaker Bagbin, once nominated from the majority side, would be unanimously approved by Parliament, and then he will swear in as Speaker, and the process will be relatively shorter and smoother than we thought 4 years ago. On the bit about the deputy speakership, by parliamentary rules, both first and second deputy speakers cannot come from the same political party. What it means is that we expect that the NDC would nominate a first deputy speaker, and we expect that the NPP would have the opportunity to have a second deputy speaker nominated. Of course, the second deputy speaker can also come from among the independent members of Parliament. But of course, experience counts. All 4 independent members of Parliament are new to Parliament, and so I do not expect that these nominations will be from amongst them. I am unable to predict who should or would be nominated to the position of first deputy speaker. However, on the bit about second deputy speaker, I think that it will be very wise that the current second deputy speaker is maintained, because, at the speakership, that experience is very much needed. For 4 years, he has sat in the chair on many occasions in the absence of the speaker and first deputy speaker, and has steered the affairs of Parliament many times. He has shepherded the lawmaking process on many occasions through the passage of bills. He has learned the ropes, and with the first deputy speaker, Joe Wise, ending his tenure at the close of tomorrow, we need some level of continuity at the speakership.
Right.
And so with a combination of Speaker Bagbin and second deputy speaker,
at least the position is secured with respect to experience.
At the first deputy speakership, who also brings some level of experience and what have you, would be able to do the trick.
Right then, Sammy, I appreciate that you could speak to us. That's Sammy of being easy.
Stay tuned for more updates. Me pacho said me kind so comment in constructive ne fashion comment section. Honum ye budget na yakenkan. E ma remfi Say, share video so when you please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and share videos. My love is so videos ni bi and share. Me da se bebre Nyankopon share ye nyina na onye kese me ma obi bia official pa fe se na yakoma so ade nyina Nyankopon aya mai na Nyankopon atutu ye wa order ye force ye steps. Me kan se na Nyankopon a order ye steps. Na ne pe aye ho ama ye nyina Nyankopon share ye nyina na onye kese. Me da se bebre Nyankopon ma ye enkwatenten o ma ye ahoɔden a afi ye betim de atwa me da se bebre.